Hey guys, welcome back to the Ducati Scrambler project. In today's episode we're gonna go over and change oil and oil filter. Since we're doing all this and we need to clean the mesh filter which is behind the exhaust, I'm gonna remove the exhaust that I have on right now and refit the OEM exhaust until I can find a way to make that exhaust less obnoxious. So enough with the chit chat, let's get on it. First step is removing the skid plate over here. The skid plate is fairly easy to remove. It's only held in place by 3 bolts. So 1, 2, and 3. With the skid plate removed, we want to get to the mesh filter. The mesh filter, it's right in there. So to get to the mesh filter, we have to remove the exhaust as well. But not the whole exhaust. We're gonna remove the can and we're gonna remove this piece over here up to those springs. Okay, first to go is gonna be the muffler. So we're gonna get a pair of needle nose pliers and remove the springs. One in the back. This 5mm Allen key has a 10mm nut in the back. So let's hold the nut and let's undo. Pull the bolt out and now it's just a matter of sliding the can off the exhaust. Now it turns out the muffler is actually a Remus muffler. So as well, this is attached by a spring on the bottom side. Here it is, and then it's just a matter of sliding it off. Next up are those 2 springs, easy as well with needle nose pliers. Just pull it out and it's done. Here we go. So first we're gonna start with the drain plug down here. Then we're gonna go over to the oil filter, and last we're gonna remove the mesh plug to clean. The drain plug as well is a 5mm Allen key. Okay, now that it's loose enough, I can go by hand and remove it. One of the steps to actually have the oil come down nice and easy is to warm up the bike beforehand, which I did. At this point, we want to clean all the fuzz off of the magnet on the drain plug. Next step is to remove the oil filter, and this time around I got a tool for it. Way easy. Time to remove the mesh filter. The mesh filter has a 14mm Allen key. Lost forever. And once you get the other plug out, it's time to get the filter element out, which is in there. So let's pull out the big guns and let's use a breaker bar. Okay, so let's take care not to damage the mesh filter. And as you guys can see, there is a little bit of everything on it. So I'm gonna grab my compressor and I'm gonna blow all this stuff off of it. First to go back in is going to be the drain plug. Second to go in is the mesh plug. Then I'm gonna put in the new filter. And oil filter of choice for me is K&N. And let's put some of this clean oil on the oil filter rubber gasket. Okay, let's torque this down, and the proper torque is 8 foot-pound or 11 Nm. Time to tighten the mesh filter to 31 foot-pound. Time to get the plug back in and torque it as well to 31 foot-pound. It's now time to torque the drain plug. Time to fill the oil between min and max. And as always, oil of choice is the Motor X. We're gonna put enough oil in to reach the max line, then run the engine for a few minutes and check the oil level again, and possibly add some more. The bike is back together, the oil level is back up to max, we have a new filter, we have nice and clear oil in it, and as you guys can see, the old exhaust is back on. Now, as much as I hoped that whoever installed this exhaust wasn't a tool, it turns out he actually is a tool. Not only that, he's not even the sharpest tool in the shed. Why am I saying that, and why am I so upset? Well, it turns out that the guy that did the job does not know the difference between a standard nut and a metric bolt. Other than the OEM exhaust missing a bracket that is essential to install on the bike, when I took off the exhaust, I also found that he tried to put a metric bolt into a standard nut. Result, well, the bolt is stripped, so I had to use a different bolt. The Remus exhaust is back in until I can find a catalytic converter to stuff in it and make it more pleasant. The oil change went really smooth, the oil is back up to level. We change the filter, brand new oil, and we clean the mesh filter inside the engine. All of that stuff is supposed to be done when you got many miles on the bike, but because the thing I've seen so far on this bike, I want to be extra careful. As always, all the parts that I used in this episode are gonna have a link down in the description, so oil filter, oil, and everything else. Now, if you guys have time, go check out my website www.albezadv.com. If you guys like the video, like. If you guys love the video, or if you want to see what happens to the Scrambler next, subscribe. Till then, ride on, and I'll see you next time.